Okie dokie, as you can see, today is a mellow yellow day. We have 4 of these Weldon's practical needlework booklets. We have series 15, 30, 84, and 128. And this is just to kind of look through them, see what was going on. So for context, this undated, but let's say early 30s, 1934, 1937. These say that they were published on the 15th of each month, and isn't it interesting how it says post-free to any part of the world? You wouldn't have that these days. This is just to look through what crochet patterns were going around, and just really, why not share it, because I think this is all very interesting. We have crochet laces. You might recognize this pattern as I've made it. We have matinee coats. If you told me this was printed yesterday, I would believe you. Look at the condition of this. Alternatively, we have crochet laces, which is worse for wear. This was stored folded. As a result, the creases have worn thin and tear very easily. I never really touch this one, I just kind of leave it. I want to preserve it. And then we have booties. So this is series 15, booties in knitting and crochet. Full instructions for making 16 pairs of booties. This was 4D, which is 4 pence. The D is for Latin for pennies. You would have pounds, shillings, and pennies. What was it, denarius? I think it was Latin for penny. Anyways, here we are. We have advertisements, which are always very fun to look through. We have always crochet threads or needles, or just what other books we could get, which is so fun to see. And sometimes I have the actual original thing, and then I can see the advertisement. That's just super exciting. Anyway, how cute are these Angora rabbit wool booties? This is so darling. That's so cute. We do have some knitting and some crochet, so that's exciting. Look how cute they are. You just don't get things like these days anymore. It's just so sweet. So very cozy and hard wearing. Imagine little tassels and bows. How sweet is that? Even embroidery and laces. Gosh, that's adorable. And they were using stratenoid crochet hooks, which I don't have. Which it will be fun to track them down. If you're wondering what this is, sorry, I just skipped by that. It is worse on the middle page. This is the remnants of a staple, and this staple is still here. When it rusted, it just dyed all of this around here. There is no point removing it at this point. It is completely rusted. It's not going to get any worse. And this one fell out completely. It is deteriorating the staple itself. The pages won't change. If you do have something like this, it has staples, you want to keep it in good condition, take them out. Replace it with some linen thread or something, cotton thread, but remove it. If you have any antique crochet lace and there's pins, it's pinned down, remove them. Use some tacking cotton. If you have anything older, don't keep it creased. It just wears away. You think it's going to be alright, it never is. Remove any creases, any folds, straighten it out. Just preserve it a bit. But aren't these super darling? They are so cute. And they're very, very sophisticated looking too. They're cute, but you can see the structure of them it's proper, you know? In crochet, you don't get things like this these days. You get much simpler little tubes, and the bow is a nice touch. I do like looking at this advert. This is for knitting, but they are the round knitting pins, which I think came out in 1918. That's when they were patented. But it's just lovely seeing that. I don't knit, but my manager uses round needles, so every time I like storing some information for that. All of the publishings, all of the advertisements, all of that will be London based, as Weldon's publish in London, so it will be all local, which is very nice. Stratnoid crochet hooks, let's see what they're saying. So, curved inside, cannot drag. The all curved hook, no sharp edges to cut or drag. And then crochet hooks for wool and silk, gauges 7 to 16, 60 each. Fine cotton crochet hooks, Stratnoid sizes 17 to 21.5, old equivalents 2 to 6.5, 6 pennies, with sheath. You seeing this properly? Oh, there we are. It's good, isn't it? Just always fun to see what they're advertising, what they have. And here I just saw they have abbreviations and descriptions of stitches used throughout the book. Let's get half of this real nice on here. Sorry, it's a new camera. I'm still trying to make it work. Here we are, and the other half. And they are British, so all of this will be British terms. They were published in London in Southampton Street. Perfect. That's that. Moving on to series 30, which is Worse for Wear, crochet laces for afternoon tea cloths and tray cloths, full instructions for 5 handsome lace designs. This one, you're going to have to bear with me. It is tragic, the condition of this one. Opinions of Stratnoid knitting pins. I have used your Stratnoid knitting pins with much success and pleasure. If you're being pleasured by your knitting pins, I think you're using them wrong. We do have mercerized crochet cotton, which mercerization, that was around 1850 by Mercer, and it created a stronger fiber. And then the sheen of it, that came, I think, what was it, Howard Lowe in like 1890? So people think mercerization is just to make it shiny, really. But no, it was for strength first, 1850s. And then 1890, that's when it got a nice sheen and the strength of it. So it's kind of a two-man effort, but Mercer never got to see Lowe's work, unfortunately. So this says, including a handsome peacock design. But be honest. Does that look like a peacock? I thought they were turkeys. I keep seeing it. I keep thinking they're turkeys. I think I'm right. And who's going to prove me otherwise? They're all dead at this point. This one's all over the place, as you can see. Of course, I'll place it back neatly, but see, peacock design, that's a turkey. Do you think they rebranded it and they're like, just kind of sell it off as a turkey? Anyway, these are all just filet crochet, which is super nice. And you've got a different mesh variant here, which gives a lovely, lovely look. See, we've just got random bits and bobs here. And the Patricia lace. Oh, abbreviations of stitches throughout the book. That's good. Again, British. So we have double crochet and trebles instead of double crochets, instead of single crochets and doubles. And this is down here, that stitch variation that we saw with the peacock. It gives a lovely mesh design. More advertisements. Ladies' Journal. Intimate articles. From frank confessions to glimpses of the great. Ooh, for 6p, I would have probably bought that. What do we have? Just the same what we had at the front, isn't it? Oh no, sorry, slightly different. Sorry. It's a Peri Lustra that keeps getting me. Bit of peacock. Peacock, yeah, right. Bit of turkeys, really. And attractive tray cloth. Again, attraction to a tray cloth. I do like how they used to word things. I'm working on lots of Victorian patterns right now, and they start with, instead of like begin your pattern, they say commence. Sounds like a ritual. It just makes you sound so much more bougie, like I'm crocheting, not crocheting, you know? Anyway, that's the back page then. That's that then. Okay, let's get to 87. Sorry, 84. Matinee coats in knitting and crochet. Full instructions for 9 delightful designs. It is super cute though. I think out of all of them, Mummy, got to see this. Alright. Out of all of them, I do think this is the best one. I think it's got the most variety and the designs are super cute. But that might be a bias because they have knitting in here, and knitting patterns just look phenomenal anyways. A crochet coat lined with silk. And you really have to love your kid for that. But one thing that vintage and antique crochet really does excellently is crochet is worked upon. So it's not just, these days you wouldn't add a lining, would you? But it was pretty normal to do it back then. If you had a bag, it would always have a lining. If you were making a trinket box, you would have a lining, pincushion lining. Clothing, you would add accessories to it, you would lace it up, you would knit bits for it, you would always add on in some way, which I love. Knitting on its own, it can look nice, but adding another element always lifts it up. A bit of silk / satin really just lifts it so much. It gets some sex appeal. No, but it does look so much nicer. But these days, these are those booties. Oh my god, what are they using? Yeah, the Angora rabbit wool. That is so cute. Oh yeah. Oh my god, that's so cute. Probably the same person wrote that. See, they said commence. That's so cute. And I like, because there's so many authors with crochet and some of them write hectically. They're just not crochet literate. They don't know what they're doing. But I like when they say, commence at top of the leg casting on 33 stitches. Sorry, 31 stitches. I don't have my glasses. But I like when they tell you where you're working from, where you're beginning. You don't have to figure it out. They just tell you. Anyway, they used to write them so elegantly. Some companies do not. I have a personal issue with Twillies. Tried making a doily, it was such a mess up. It was written so poorly. Isn't that cute, with a little bonnet? I just think these are the best done patterns out of these 4 booklets. Again, staining from the pins. That's alright, this looks so cute. It is, they say it here, a quite plain but charming design in treble and double crochet. I can't agree more. It's lovely. It's so simple, but it's quite elegant. That's cute. I do like the ribbon around the waist. That's pretty cute. And the texture of this in a delightful stitch. A dainty matinee coat, which is very simple to knit. Yeah. This kind of just looks like a baby blanket rather than clothing, but that's so cute. I do like seeing what other crafts they had, because obviously these are like crochet and knitting, but they always have embroidery things. It just always kind of distracts me. Demon rabbit. I guess this is, yeah, used for the matinee coat. That's cute. Maternity frocks and a slumber helmet. Well, we got more abbreviations. I just think it's worth seeing these. Throughout the years they do alter and they, you know, they word things differently. Different techniques as well used in this one. And this was 1934. Okie dokie. On to our last one, 128. Church laces and crochet, including corner to specially requested design. That's her. I've made this one. This is Dickle lace, and these are just kind of filet crochet. For church lace of immaculate whiteness, soft, rich texture, and permanent luster. Yeah. Have your crochet mounted by experts. You can mount me. It was really nice to read, really easy, no issues there. And this is like actual crochet. This isn't how we saw the peacocks. This is genuine crochet. It's pretty nice and neat because it looks sort of as if it were a printed pattern instead of an actual image. This too, this is actual crochet, and this is a Christogram. Is that what it's called? Sorry, I'm not religious, but that's just Jesus. Dickle lace. Never done it. Might never do it, but it's so cute. This is my second pattern for it. Does anyone still do it? I don't know, but it is pretty cute. See, this is just a graph. This is an actual graph. But the other one looked like a graph. Impressively, it's all stitches. Filet crochet is nice though. I do appreciate that they give you a graph and a pattern. It makes it easier. Some people struggle with one or the other. If you need clarification, you've got it. You've got it. Fun. This one, I'm a bit sad. I wanted to make it, but this is just the corner. They start you at row 24. I don't know how the previous rows went. I guess you could do a chain and then just have a corner for like my recreation of an antique lace sample book. But I want this. I want like 3 crosses again, how I did with the... I did 1 cross. Gosh, that's sad. But 3 crosses, you've got to have 3. More pattern. That's for the beginning one, I believe it was. Yeah. I always like how they do that. Instead of wasting space or anything, they just go to the back, they tell you. It feels really like a script. It feels really formal now. At the beginning, it's like, oh, pictures, nice and fun. Now it's get to work. New embroidery cotton, some Dickle lace. More abbreviations. I did see Victorian patterns online, which I thought was so cool. I had abbreviations, and it would be O.P. No, it was not. O.M for open mesh. And then you would have a B for blocks. That was if you were doing filet crochet. And this one was printed in 1937. They were all published in London, which is super cute. You would get lots of publishers in London and Scotland. And then most of British crochet hooks were made in Redditch. Anyway, I do hope you enjoyed looking at these 4. And maybe one day I'll have some more. And then, you know, I'll bring you back to stare at them too and flip through them. I have to sort this one out. She's a bit of a mess. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. Bye-bye.